Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and today is my Everything I Crocheted in June 2025 video. This is a video journal of everything that I've crocheted for the month that's just gone by, and it's a nice way for me to showcase all of my makes in one place for myself and for you, so that way you get to see what I've been up to for the whole month. Now June went by so very quickly, and today is the 1st of July 2025, so half of the year has officially gone by. Wowzers, that is amazing. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I always love hanging out with each and every one of you. We have such a fun time together sharing each other's makes, and that's exactly what I'll be doing today. Now, I've discovered that the easiest way for me to keep a journal for myself is via a very simple diary. And I absolutely love that in here, each and every month, I have an opportunity to write down what I've been making as I go, because we lose track of what we make, right? And most of us make so many things, excuse me, that it's just fun to have a record keeper. And I thought this was the year that I'm going to start doing it. And so far, I've been very good because we're 6 months in and I've done it each and every month. Now, there are always a few things that I know I have to make. So, for example, the cows that I'm involved with, and I'll show you those. And then I've had a really fun month of just making what I really wanted to just make, which is always a fun month, I think, or just, a fun opportunity for us when we don't have to make something. We just make it for the joy that it brings us. Sometimes we're asked to make something, or we're, working towards like a market, but it's just been a very cruisy month. So I'm really excited that I can actually say that, because not all months are the same. Now, in this little journal of all my makes, I don't actually give you great details about everything, because you would have seen them along the way on, in our podcast and any other extra, times I pop in to share something with you. Now, I do have a note here, and I'm going to endeavour to stick to the script, guys, but that's very rare around here. But as always, I'd like to start off with my absolute most favourite thing of all, and that is my 18-inch doll, Dana. So for our 18-inch doll, Cal, we had to make a bikini this month. Now, there will be more details about this in our showcase video or fashion parade video coming up very soon. But she's actually got a bikini under here, and I managed to make her a little wrap. It's actually not a wrap, it's a coverall. A nice little bag as well. So she's got her own little market bag. Let me just pop her down for now, because she's not the highlight of today. And I actually made her a beach towel as well. So I am so happy that for once, Dana is actually going to have a bit more than just the monthly make for our cow. Now, the next cow that we have here at Coco's Crochet is our birthstones cow. And excuse me, and for this month, for June, I should say, the birthstone was Moonstone, which was great because we had such a variety of colours to choose from, and I'm making sunburst granny squares for that, and I did make a sunburst granny square in pink. So here it is here. So that was done. Let's pop that over there. Now let's get on to this pile here. So I did manage to make quite a few blankets. I made a huge blanket out of blanket yarn for my daughter. She's already taken that, and she has been enjoying snuggling under it, she's told me, because it has been so cold here in Sydney, Australia. Hence the beanie, guys. Very cold, especially today. It's been a miserable wet day. Very windy. It would have been perfect for a pajama day. Anyway, back on track. So that blanket has already gone, and that was quite a nice size one. It was about 5 feet or 155 centimeters, I'm guessing, a square. It was just a C to C, and it was such a fun and easy make to make. Now, sticking with the blanket yarn, because I love my blanket yarn, I made this lovely little baby blanket here. Now, this one is quite large too, like as in for a baby size. Here it is there, just using the two colours of blanket yarn complementing each other. One of them is that beautiful burnout mystical yarn. Let me tell you, they're so super soft, and they always smell so delicious when you wash them. And this one had a very simple scallop border around it as well. So that was another nice warm blanket, keeping someone warm very soon, I hope. Now, the other blanket that I managed to finish in the month of June, which is awesome, is my open block stitch C to C blanket, something along those lines. Now, I did use Ogo yarn for this one. That's actually a quarter of it. And I love the way that these colors actually came out. Now, if you haven't made a C2C open block stitch blanket, I highly recommend it. It is a fun make, and it's very nice if you want like a decorative throw, because that's what I feel this one is, because, you know, as it is quite holy with all the block stitches open there, I think that's the right side. Not that it really matters, I guess. It would be a really nice, you know, piece on the lounge. And of course you do keep quite warm under it as well, because it is made with Ogo yarn, which is a bulky number 5 yarn from memory, all acrylic. And then I had this beautiful yarn sitting there for over a year. It was for my daughter-in-law. It's that really thick yarn from Lime brand. I haven't got it here, but it's like a recycled one. And this blanket, look at the size of it. So this is half of it. Again, this is just a throw, but the stitch is beautiful. It is the V stitch and granny stitch combination. And oh my goodness, doesn't it come up beautifully, guys? I think that's the back. I can never really tell. There we go there. Another very beautiful and very warm blanket, let me tell you. So let's chuck this one over there as well. Oh my gosh, there is a huge pile. I hope it doesn't fall down. Now over here you can see one of my favorite makes for June, and I need to make a second one. Once again, blanket yarn, and this is my tulip stitch cushion cover. Very, very simple to make, and I will be putting a tutorial out for this one shortly, so stay tuned for that one. That one was so much fun to make. Now, okay, let's get over to this side. We're sort of kind of jumping, but let me pop those down there for now. I have made 6 squares, I think, towards a blanket that I'm putting together using this yarn here, which I purchased for $5 for 12 balls or 16 balls. 16 balls, which was an awesome buy. And it's the beautiful velvet yarn. Let me show it to you here. It's not very, very thick, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I won't go into great detail, but I'm trying to use them, the colors as is, to make a blanket. I don't know how big it's going to be, but I do have a whole other bag of those. So there's 4 in there and 16, that's 20. I've managed to make this one here. All the ends have to be tied in. But I think that that's worked out really well, because I've teamed it up, as I said, with some of my own velvet yarn so that I can make something pretty. So I've got 2 of those, and then I've made 4 identical. So there's 4 here of this one here. Now somehow I'm going to sew them all together, or put them all together, and I'm sure it'll make something pretty that, you know, someone will be able to use. So that is a work in progress. So maybe by the end of July. There's no hurry when I finish it, so I just thought I'd show you the progress on it. So we're 6 squares in. So maybe if I manage to make maybe another 12 squares, we'll see how we go with what yarn I have, and then I can put it all together, piece it together, and somehow make it work. Now, sticking to the blankets, I do have my historic temperature blanket for my birthday, my birth year 1965, because as I'm turning 60 this year, I thought it'd be a nice blanket to have as a keepsake for myself. And for June in 1965, I had to put in 4 colors, and it's, you know, as it is winter colors, you'll see the change that we've got in the colors. So this one here, the blue one there, I think was 19. Oh, sorry, I should be going backwards. That one was 21 degrees Celsius in Australia, and then we've got 20 and 19. So 21, 20 and 19, they're the new temperatures, and it is growing very, very nicely, I think, anyway. So let's pop that one down for now. So the great thing is with that one that I'm actually keeping up, because I don't want to fall behind, because I feel, for me, if I fall behind in projects, I actually lose the interest in it, and I really don't want that to happen, especially with this. Actually, with anything that I start, I really do like to finish, but I don't want this temperature blanket to be a whip at the end of the year. I want it to be done and dusted for the year. Now, the other things that I've worked on are Beanie of the Week, of course. So let's bring them across here. Now, this one here, I made 2. The first week we made, I think it's the bead stitch beanie, and I do have it written here. I think it's by 5 Little Monsters. This was actually a beautiful beanie. And very soon I'll be putting out the beanie of the week roundup for April till June, so there'll be another 13 beanies in there. Then we had the Bag O Day Under the Stairs beanie. Then we had Spring's beanie, Spring the Fibre Enthusiast. It was meant to be a slouchy beanie, but I made it as a regular size beanie. And then we had the Manfa hat in honor of our friend Sam at Manfa's Makes, made by Cinnamon Stitches, the pattern. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus I made a black beanie, just a vanilla beanie I call it, for one of Steve's friends at work. And then of course, and this will be coming to you very, very soon, the tutorial for my tulip stitch beanie. So it's going to be a really pretty tutorial, I think, coming out soon, and I made 3. So that's, how many did we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beanies. That's pretty good for 1 month. And now the fun part. Well, yes, the fun part. We've got some flowers and some toys that I want to share with you. So to add to my repertoire of flowers, forever flowers, because I've got carnations and lavender, I wanted to make a rose. And, you know, I haven't made one since this one, but I am going to try to make a few different ones to see which one I like the best. But I made a rose. And this sunflower I made using DK weight yarn. I really think I need to make it with worsted weight yarn to make it a bit bigger, but I was told that sunflowers do come in miniature version too, which I thought was super cute, which means that these actually work. But of course, you know my obsession with blanket yarn, guys. I had to make them giant size, so I did make a lavender. I need to buy proper sticks for them, although Julie from Case Mum Crochets did say that if I just wound some yarn on these, that they would probably work. So here is a lavender. And here is a sunflower. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. And then this one is the funniest one because it's huge. It will make a great duster, we decided, to when you want to dust away the cobwebs. So this one is a very, very pretty carnation one. So I actually really love the huge ones. Look at those. Oh my gosh, look at all those colors. Can you imagine them in a vase? These 3. I absolutely love them. They actually do make me smile. So they were my flowers that I was just playing with. Our friend Rose at she has her random acts of crochet kindness, and this month she chose worry worms, and I did make 4. So here they are here with their little eyes on them. I made these 2 colors. Oh, I can't hold them, they're tiny. Look at that, guys. So there's these 2 times 2. So I've got the exact same ones. So there's 4 that will be going towards my Are You OK collection for my friends at work that I'll leave on the table for them in around September this year, I think is when we celebrate. Now, here is a donut that I made for the Amigurumi World Tour, which finally finished. I was the last stop, and here is my donut from the book. So that's actually a fun one. It's still got glue. What's that glue called? The hot glue hanging off it. This was actually a fun and very quick and easy make. And then I love this guy. This is a little leggy froggy, but he's a fidget toy. So look at this. I just love it when we do that. He is actually a lot of fun, and I'm sure that he will make someone very, very happy one day. And with the same project, so with this blanket yarn, I made that blanket that I showed you earlier. So I wanted to match it up with some toys. And I made Squish Buddy from Cassandra of Craftably Ever After. I think he is adorable and very squishy. And I have to say that my favourite make so far has been Grumpy Gus. And there he is there in all his glory. I absolutely love this guy. He makes me smile each and every time. So I'm looking around me, guys, and I think that that's it. That's a wrap. So I think that it was a very productive June. I feel that I got a lot of yarn out of my stash, especially the blanket yarn, because that takes up so much space. And those of you that know, I had a huge blanket yarn haul as well during the month of June, which I have written in my book for expenses. Don't you worry, I've made a note of that. But that's it. You know, I hope you've had a productive month as well. If that's what you wanted to do, you might just want to cruise along and work on one project at a time. I'm just a little bit, you know, one of those people that just can't just have one thing happening at once. But I am trying my best to finish things. I don't want to have many whips. I did say that each and every month I would be working on one of my whips that I brought over from 2024, and the blanket, this one here, it actually started off, the project had started off as a very different blanket. Then it was going to turn into a cushion, and I wasn't quite happy with that either. So I'm going to call this, like, I'm going to tick this one off the list that I actually used, not all of it, but most of the yarn that came across from last year, because I really don't want to have, you know, those, I'm looking over because they're behind you, to have those whips carrying through to 2026, because believe me guys, the year's flying, and I can see that I still have about 5 bags that I need to attend to. So I'm going to have to choose a new project bag or whip bag from 2024 to work in July as well. So we're going to have a very busy July, guys. As yet, I haven't really made any plans for July, other than, as I said, the cows that we're running here, our 18-inch, best dressed 18-inch doll cow, our birthstones cow, and Rose's random acts of crochet kindness. In actual fact, I do know that Cassandra from Craftably Ever After will be putting out her cow for the month of July, so look out for that one too. I know I'll be joining in that, so that's another thing that I'm going to add to the side of my diary, where it means, you know, I have to make those things. But other than that, it's a free one for July. I really don't have many plans, but I am looking forward to, you know, diving into a few new makes and just some old, you know, the ones that are the comfort ones, you know, like I love making the baby blankets and things like that. So thank you once again for joining me. I really do appreciate that you take the time to hang out with me. It brings me so much joy that I actually have so many yarny friends that I can share, you know, my makes with. So I hope you're all keeping well. I have to tell you, I cannot wait to get stuck into some crochet today, because my hands need to keep busy, otherwise they are frozen. So until I see you all very, very soon, take care everyone. Bye bye for now.